You know, A.L. Williams was born February 10, 1977, and our goal was to build an RVP factory. An RVP in A.L. Williams owns their own company. They're no junior RVPs. You know, you have your own company within a company. And A.L. Williams promised no limits to everybody that became an RVP. No limits on the money you can make, no limits on the territory, you can go anywhere, no limit on the promotions. Another promise A.L. Williams made to its sales force is you would never be denied an earned promotion. A.L. Williams had one set of guidelines, and if any RVP out there added any requirement to those guidelines and held anybody back from an earned promotion, I would fire your ass. Now, let's talk about the power of ownership. Now, you as an RVP, your goal, February 10, 1977, was to build 7 to 10 RVPs. So you don't have to build 50, you don't have to build 100, you know. You just have to build 7 to 10, then help your RVP build 7, and help your RVPs build 7, and through 3 generations, that's 399 RVPs. And if each RVP does $10,000 in premium, then that would create for you an income of $323,000 a month, or $3.8 million a year. And then at the end of the day, when you pass away, you've built a legacy business that you would leave to your family. What a legacy that is. Now let me give you some real facts again. That's just numbers on a page. But Bob Safford built 642 RVPs, 97 SVPs, 64 NSDs, 14 SNSDs, a total of 817 RVPs. Now this is an RVP factory. You know, we are in the business of producing RVPs. Now the key to getting this ball rolling and creating this momentum is field training. We train on the kitchen table in front of the husband and wife. That's our field, that's our home field. And so the key is to take that new recruit to one of his friends, and he goes with you, and then your goal is to field train that guy, that new recruit, to 3 recruits and 3 sales, and that makes him a sales leader. Now once you've accomplished that, then the multiplication begins in our RVP factory. Now the traditional industry grew by addition. They have a manager, and then the rest of the people in the office, like at Prudential, are all salespeople. So if that manager goes out and recruits 3 people, and he does that 10 times over, let's say, a number of years, he would have a sales force of 30. Well, in A.L. Williams, we grew by multiplication. If you go out there and recruit a person, and you're taking him in the field trying to recruit 3 people for him and make 3 sales to get him to sales leader, that's when our multiplication begins. So if you recruit a person and then you go out and make 3 field training sales, then they do 3 and they do 3, 10 times, that's 59,000 people. So in building an RVP factory, you know, you build momentum with promotions and motions. Now, see if this makes sense to you. See, I've always talked to AOE's people like this. When you become a sales leader, which is our goal with every new recruit, then you're not a sales leader until you produce a sales leader, okay? When you become a district, you're not a district until you produce a district. When you become a division, a division. And folks, anywhere along this trail, if you stop it, you know, then the train falls off the track. So you got to have guidelines that are simple and fast. So let me give you an example. Let's say you field train somebody to sales leader now, and what you're looking for is teams. That's what I wanted our people to do, our new recruits to do, to think in terms of building teams. That's how we spread all over the United States. So let's say once you're a sales leader, to go to district leader, you had to build 2 teams. Just an example, okay? And to go to district, you had to build 2 teams. And to go to division, you had to build 2 teams. And to go to regional leader, you had to build 2 teams. See, it's simple. It's simple. And these people go out there and recruit 2 people and take them to 3 or 4 or 5 of their friends and get them to a sales leader just like that, and you'll have a team, okay? And so promotions in motion is a key to creating momentum. Now the RVP is always the starting point. That's when you have ownership. That's why you come full time to build your own company within a company. Now the RVP Factory should look like this. This RVP has produced 10 RVPs versus a $100,000 base shop. Now this is what we were trying to do at A.L. Williams. We wanted you're in the business of producing RVPs. We were trying to build an RVP factory. Now, if I was out there trying to build a big income and a secure income, I'd rather have 10 RVPs than just one base shop doing $100,000, right? Because that gives you a secure income and a big income. And it's also best for the company because if something happened to this person here, then the company's got 10 RVPs, okay? And so the way we got that going to where we, had in your brain out there RVPs that we wanted you to produce RVPs is we paid you. Compensation tells you what the company wants to do. So what I would do is I would pay the RVP that did the 10 RVPs that do $10,000, $100,000, and if somebody was just in a base shop that did $100,000, $15,000. You get as a company what you pay your people to do. Now an RVP team looks like this. 95% of your RVPs are going to be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 RVPs. Now folks, this is back in 1980, okay, in the late 70s, okay, so maybe it would be a tad more, but probably not. But 95% of your RVPs are going to be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 RVPs, and then you're going to be 5% are going to be giants. Now, this concept took us from 7 RVPs in 1977 to 12,000 RVPs, from 85 people in 1977 to 225,000 licensed. And then Citigroup comes in with all their brains and all their crap. They didn't know crap about Shinola, but they thought they did. And so what they wanted to do is they said, y'all promote RVPs too fast and you got too many RVPs and you got some little old RVPs out there, and so what we're going to do is just produce big RVPs. And so in 2 years, Citi took 12,000 RVPs down to 4 and 225,000 licensed people down to 75,000. Citi's big mistake is they wanted to promote just big RVPs. So they had these huge guidelines, and all this kind of crap. Let me give you an unwritten law. You're guaranteed to be little if you promote only big RVPs, okay? A.L. Williams had 2 goals in building this RVP factory. Number 1 is we wanted to build an army of part-time people. Part-time people, by recruiting part-time people, you can go into a community and you can recruit influential people, people that would never give up their full-time job. Like me, I love coaching football. I would never have given that up to go sell something, and especially, insurance. And then by having that, you continue your job with your income and your benefits, there's no pressure on you, okay? And so we're a warm market company. So we wanted to build an army of part-time people. And then we wanted, number 2, for the part-timer to be slow to go full-time. I was part-time for 2.5 years, and I've saved $42,000. Now, I was making $10,700 a coach, and today, if you turn that into what today's dollars are worth, that'd be $291,000. Now, 2.5 years part-time, I'd accumulated $42,000, so I could go 4 years without making a sale. There was no pressure there. A.L. Williams was born not believing pressure. We don't sell on the first interview. We don't call people on a cold telephone. We're friends talking to friends. And so we wanted the part-timer to be slow to go full-time. Now, the RVP Factory, my vision was that when a part-timer was ready to go full time. He had an emergency fund, he had a year or two of experience. Then I would like for him to have been promoted to a regional leader, or a district leader, something on up there, And then once that guy came full time, I wanted the RVP to know that the company expected him to be promoted to RVP within 1 year. Now, why would you want a regional leader to be promoted to RVP? Because that's how city just gummed up everything and just screwed the company up. They didn't know crap about how to promote nobody. And so the reason you want regional leaders, like I said, once you start a sales leader, you're not a sales leader, you produce a sales leader. District, unless you're not a district unless you produce a district, And any time if you get the regional leader and then all of a sudden things get gummed up and you stop and you're not promoting RVPs, then the train falls off the track and you lose all this momentum and the system don't work. When you produce a regional leader, I want that guy to be an RVP within a year. That's how you grow a business, is you get promotions in motion. Now listen to this. Now you got to understand the odds. On 4th and 1, I had a rule on my football team, we were going to go for it because 85 or 90% of the time, you're going to make it on 4th and 1. And so I was willing to take that chance because the odds were so dramatically in my favor, right? Well, you take a regional leader out there, folks, and you got these unbelievable guidelines like, I wanted to say the bad kind of group, but Citigroup had, and it just clogged everything up, and they lost thousands and thousands and thousands of potentially great RVPs, because of their stupidity in thinking that you had to have these huge guidelines, where they were only going to promote big RVPs. You want to keep this train moving down the track, and you want to promote regional leaders fast, like when you got 2 legs, they take one and they leave one as a replacement, okay? And the reason is, folks, when a guy's an RVP, guy or gal gets promoted to RVP, the odds are 95% greater that they're going to make it long term and be with you longer than they would as an RVP. Now, keep those promotions in motion. That's where you get momentum. Now, replacement allows the promoting RVPs to promote RVPs fast because they're getting a replacement, okay? That was a concept that A.O. Williams came up with, which was unique in this industry. What we wanted was the regional leader to build 2 solid legs, okay? And he takes one with him, and with the increase in the RVP compensation, his income, I'd like to have regional leaders do 2 solid legs, and be earning around $5,000. Now, these are the older dollars, okay? So $5,000 for, a few months in there. And when he gets promoted to RVP and gives up 1 leg, well, with the increase in the RVP contract, his income's going to remain basically the same. And now he's got his own company within a company. And the promoting RVP comes out a winner because he keeps a leg and he keeps that momentum going, and he's got a new RVP. And so why is this good for the new RVP to make an exchange, 1 leg for the RVP position? Because, you'd have to be stupid not to understand why that's a good thing, right? I love what Andy Young did. He had one of his regional leaders bitching about having to make a replacement. And Andy said, okay, I'm going to make a deal with you. You don't have to make a replacement, okay? But I'm going to make you sign a little contract here that you can never take a replacement when you produce an RVP. And of course, the guy about messed in his pants, and said, no, I don't want to do that deal, okay? So what you do is RVP and a replacement, you have 2 legs as a regional leader. You take one with you with a bigger contract to keep your income up there, and then you leave one with the RVP, And what you're doing, you're exchanging the right to take unlimited numbers as you begin to build RVPs. We're an RVP factory, remember, and your number one rule as an RVP is to produce RVPs. So you're exchanging that one leg that you give up to your promoting RVP for the opportunity to take an unlimited number of legs as you produce RVPs. Does that make sense to you people out there? Another unique thing about A.O. Williams was we gave the new RVP the same contract as the promoting RVP. Now, almost every other company in the world out there in corporate America, they put a ceiling on people's heads out there, okay? And the people that get there first, they get the protected territory, and they always make more of an override, you know, and all this kind of crap, you know? Well, A.O. Williams came in and we said, we're going to give the new RVP the same contract as the promoting RVP. So if the new RVP produced more, he made more than the promoting RVP. See, we call that pass up, pass up. It's good for the promoting RVP because the more his downline RVPs do, is the more money he makes, okay? And it's good for the new RVP because if he produces more than the upline RVP, he can earn more money. This is back to A.O. Williams' promise to the sales force that we would never limit your opportunity. You can always do more, right? So this was fulfilling one of our original promises we made to the sales force. The new RVP owns his own company. There are no junior RVPs. Every RVP has no limits. He can always do more. There's no limits. And let me give you a live example. Mike Hughes, an RVP, great RVP in Orlando, Florida, multi-millionaire, was earning $1 million a year, and he recruited a guy by the name of Mike Tuttle in Dallas, Texas. When Mike Hughes was making $1 million a year, Mike Tuttle eventually was earning $3.2 million a year. But Mike Hughes didn't regret Mike Tuttle, making more money than him, because the more he did, the more Mike Hughes made, right? And Mike Tuttle went on to produce 25 $1 million earners, right? So the promoting RVP has every incentive in the world for his new RVP to do a bunch, even do more than him, because the more he does, the more he's going to make. And that was our concept. That's how we spread from 85 people to 225,000 in every state, in every village, in every little old hamlet out there, all over Canada, all over Puerto Rico. We did it by building an RVP factory.